Hello, today I'm going to be talking about my final show with my camp series. The camps include Tom Sawyer, Joseph, and Annie, and then finally, Grease. Grease was the summer of 2021. In terms of songs, I absolutely love the songs. They're iconic, and I knew them before the show because I'd seen the show a bunch of different times, and it's just common knowledge to know the songs of Grease, especially as a musical theater kid. So all of the songs were super fun and enjoyable. In terms of my role, I was a background chorus member. I was put in the back row, and it might be a height thing because I am 5'9", but I was in the minimal amount of chorus things with people who had never been in the camp before, and it was just a little weird. But that was the extent of my role. In terms of acting knowledge acquired, I learned how to make things fun for myself, and I really honed in on my personal acting choices instead of worrying about being self-conscious and just kind of having fun, as much fun as I possibly could just by myself, and how I could interact with my castmates the best to my abilities. In terms of cast relationships, there were several short-term friendships. I've kept in contact with only about 3 or 4 people from the cast just because I moved to the next month, so only a couple people kept in contact with me. But one of my friends who I met on the day of auditions has since stayed friends with me, and when I visited recently, I got to see her again. And it was really cool because I only knew her for about 2 months before I moved, and reconnecting with her when I visited last was really sweet. My claim to fame was taking everyone's name tags. It started with one of the leads, and I had a bunch of name tags on my back. They were like little stickers, and that was a way to get to be friends with people. That's just what I did. That was my thing. That was what made me me, I guess. It's just taking people's names. But that was a way I got to interact with people and make the best of an interesting situation. In terms of directors' relationships, like I said when I was talking about my role, there was a lot of resentment. The cast, I was probably in the most shows out of everyone, given the smallest role possible. This is a fun little camp comparison from my first show in 2014 to my final show in 2021. I was going to work with what I got, but it was really disappointing. And in terms of the relationship with the director, it did make me want to distance myself. In terms of overall work environment, it was a little toxic. There were some cliques and some problems with virtue signaling. There were just some problems I'm not going to get to in depth that were not necessarily excusable. There were a couple of work environment problems. Costumes are always wonderful and help me to get into character, and it is my favorite part probably of theater, other than the music. And the dancing was really fun. We got a couple ex-cheerleaders or current cheerleaders to help us out with some of the dances, which will bring me into my first costume, which was a little cheerleader. I got to wear a varsity cheerleader costume and stand in the back row because I was too tall, and got to learn this cute little dance. It was very fun. The second costume was like a silly girl kind of costume. It was a white shirt and a skirt, just like the costume from Curtains earlier in that year, which is interesting. I didn't even realize that I had 2 almost duplicate costumes. But this one was a poodle skirt, and it was super cute. And finally, my prom fit. So this one is similar to the one that Marty wears in Grease. I love the colors. I don't want to leave this show reflection just with all bad things. I definitely did learn a lot, and it definitely made the next show after it just feel so incredible, because although I was not casted in basically anything in this show, the next show gave me so many new things to learn about. And for that, I'm so grateful. That was Grease. It was an iconic show to be in. I can always say that I was in it, and I got to experience what it was like to live in that time period, to live in the people's shoes. Despite not having a huge role, I got to develop my character. That was Grease.
consider